What's going on, YouTube? Trey Tutter coming with another Defender of Texas video for you guys today. And today's the day that I wanted to bring you guys the prize highlights. Alright, so as you know, Dungeon has a lengthier prize highlights than every other event. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, we got a piece of epic gear called the Thankful Turkey. Um, this would be good to throw on a guru as it gives you 777 wisdom. But the main thing about it is heal all adept. To my knowledge, there is no other piece of gear that does this. So I think this is a pretty amazing piece of gear. Problem is, it's going to be harder than who knows what to obtain. But I definitely think it'd be good to put on a nice strong guru to up that wisdom and to get that much more strength out of their cooldown skills and have a chance to heal your whole line with it. I think that would be excellent. Definitely a good piece of gear there, Thankful Turkey. Next, we have the Cerulean Staff in its rare version. It upgrades to the Carillion Staff once you self-use it enough up to the epic version. Comes with a ton of wisdom, 1155, and also has the skill Smite Elite, which is fantastic. I really like Smite. I have the rare book. I forget what it's called, but the uncommon is called Strategos. But when you self-use that up to its rare version, it has Smite Adept. And this one goes up to Smite Elite, which is just that much stronger. Every time my LO procs that move, the Adept version anyway, it drops a fighter. It kills them every time. I've never had a fighter survive that. So the Elite version is just going to be that much more powerful. Coupled with 1,155 wisdom, that is excellent. That's definitely good. So hopefully you can come across enough Cerulean staffs in order to upgrade to the Carillion staff. That would be great because that is a pretty nice piece of gear right there. Moving on, we have the Pie Cutter, which upgrades to the Bird Carver with enough self-use. Smash Novice, Smash Adept. These things here, these two pieces of gear here will be alright for newer players, but players that have been defending Texel for quite some time aren't going to find much use in these simply because we know we have the twin sawtooths, which are a piece of gear that you can get from the Texel exchange. They cost 3,000 Texel each, and they give you much more attack at max self-fuse than this, and it also procs Smash Elite. So newer players will get plenty of use out of these. Older defenders, probably not so much. The twin sawtooths are just better than these overall. So yeah, that's about it for those. New pieces of gear here, we have the Wishbone Guitar, which after enough self-fusions will upgrade to the Refried 5 or Refried V. I don't know what that's supposed to stand for, but I'm gonna just go with one of those. Ups your defense, which is nice. A nice little bit too with the epic version. 1,114 defense. That is muy excelente. A lot of defense. Maybe you could throw that on one of your tanks. Like I personally think this will go perfect on a Tish pack, because not only does he already have high defense and HP, but the skill that also comes with this hunk of gear, Riposte, which is basically a counterattack skill. If you get hit, you have the chance to counter with this Riposte skill, and it hurts. It hits hard. So I think this would be a perfect piece of gear for a Tish pack, so you can just counterattack the heck out of everything that even touches him. Because he already has Vent. So you couple that with this, and I highly would go against hitting him. So yeah, there you have it. The gear, you already know it basically comes down to what the proc rate is for them. The higher the proc rate, the better the gear. So there you have it, a quick look at our new gear for this event. Now let's go on to our hero fighters. We're going to start with Babel here. This is our Fire Warlock for this event. Um, Babel, you definitely want to use in this event because of that 800% edge. But after this event is over with, you may want to toss this guy. I mean, he looks good physically. He has a really good look to him. Um, Pyro Elite, which is good. Um, Warlock, high attack, high wisdom, decent HP. He actually has pretty decent agility for a Warlock too. His defense is terrible. But yeah, Babel, I doubt you're gonna want to keep this one after the event's over. Just use him for the event and say bye bye. um, Next up, we have D.O.T. We have ourselves a champ here, Lightning Champ. His look is okay. I personally not feeling it too much, but he looks alright. He's a champ, so you know he has higher HP, heightened attack, and pretty nice defense. Wisdom not so much. His agility not so much either. But Shock Elite and cooldown of 4-2, pretty average for fighters with that skill. Um, and that's pretty much all we got on D.O.T. right now. Next up, we have Kikaval. I think that's how you say his name. Another one you want to use for this event, 800% edge. Use them while it lasts. Kikaval is a lightning rogue, as you can tell by the very high agility and a somewhat decent attack. Not attack. His attack is actually horrible. I apologize. His attack is going to be horrible off the edge. It's pretty good during the event though with that 800%. His look is weird. I mean, it looks like a hawk with a human upper body that plays guitar. He looks so weird. But Sting All Adept is his skill. 3-1 cooldown, which is pretty much the best you find for this skill. 3-1. So that's good. It has a very good cooldown. Of course, he uses the agility as an attack, so it's really good that he has nice high agility, so it hits hard. But that's all we have to say about Kikaval at this point. Now let's move on to our hot fighters for this event. First, we have Mara Glint. I think she has a pretty nice look to her. It's that blue that gives it away. She's like glowing blue with the blue aura coming off her. Looks pretty nice. Mara Glint is a Earth Warlock. So of course she's going to have the attack, she's going to have wisdom, and she's going to have the so-so agility. Actually, for a Warlock, pretty nice agility. Her skill is Thwart All Adept. This is a skill you don't find on too many fighters. I think this is the third one now that has Thwart All Adept. Cooldown of 4-2, which for that skill is pretty average. And she looks cool. Looking alright. I'm not gonna keep her, but it's not too bad. Next, we're moving on to Electria. This, in my personal opinion, is the man right here. This is the king fighter of this event, in my opinion. Electria is a water champ. I definitely need more water fighters, so this is going to be good for a water dungeon. He's on 200% edge this event, so you definitely want to use him. He's a champ, so like I said, he's going to have higher HP, higher attack, and pretty decent defense. Wisdom not so much, and for a champ, he has pretty nice agility. Now, the thing that I really like about him is his skill. This guy's skill is a heal self, a champ, a strong champ, but not like best of the best strong, but a pretty good champ with heal self adept. Me personally, I think this guy's gonna shine. I mean, a champ with off of the edge, he has 5,266 HP, and with heal self, I'm guessing if he heals Let's say if he heals somewhere at a minimum of 1,000 to 1,500 HP, this guy's going to be really good. I mean, he's going to be amazing. I'm guessing the only way you're going to kill this guy is either you're going to have to kill him in one hit, preempt the heck out of him, or just jump him. You're going to have multiple fighters get on this guy, because if you do not, he's going to heal himself and you're pretty much going to have to start all over. So this guy is shining to me. Me personally, I'm definitely going to try to 5 for 5 this guy. That heal self just, with that amount of HP, just has me sucked in. I'm a super fuse the high out of his HP, and this guy, he's just never going to die. Because at 5 for 5, this guy has a 0 cooldown, which is amazing. Every turn he's going to heal his health. This guy has definitely piqued my interest, and he's one I'm definitely going to try to 5 for 5 during the trade frenzy coming up. And last but not least, this big hunk of disappointment right here. If you don't know why I say that, please listen carefully. First of all, this is Gratia. The first day, you can see it in my first impressions video, they had this guy named after Arathia, which is the event guy from the last event, but they changed his name to Gratia. So that's what is known as now, Gratia. Gratia is a lightning rogue, so of course you're going to have the heightened attack, the heightened agility, and the so-so HP. On 200% edge this event, you definitely want to try to get use out of it this event. Preempt all. I'm sure myself, along with the rest of my fellow defenders, when they saw this, their eyebrows went up into the back of their head. Because when you see a preempt all adept, you're like, all right, here we go. We got a strong one. We got a good one. And boy, what a letdown this fighter was. Everyone from the start thought, myself included, thought that this was going to be the Inzuna killer. But sad to say, it's not. Why, you may be thinking? Well, if you don't know already, Gratia only has a cooldown of 3-1. So at 5 for 5 self-fuse, you're going to have a cooldown of 1, which means it's not an auto proc, which means this bird officially is no good. This turkey is not really going to do me any good. I'm probably going to get rid of him first thing during the trade frenzy. This bird just let all of us down. There are a lot of people, I'm sure, that were let down by this one, because this was supposed to be the Inzuna killer, and then we found out the cooldown. So sad, so sad. So Gratia, preempt all with a 1 cooldown. If you want to keep Gratia, you can go ahead, but there are many more better preempt dolls out there, for the simple fact that they're auto proc, and Gratia is not an auto proc. So there you have it for the prize highlights, but we're not gonna stop there. I wanted to give you guys, of course, some comparisons. So let's see if we can locate them. I'd like to bring them up on the screen for you guys so you can see the exact fighter that I'm talking about here. So let's navigate to our comparison for the Fire Warlock Babel, Babel, however they want you to say it. Let's navigate to him. See who we're going to compare that one to. As soon as Blue Stacks gets me there. Okay, here we are. Boom, right here. I decided to compare Babel to Nasrin from the last dungeon event we had. They're relatively close. I thought this was the best comparison for him. Nasrin has 367 more health, 55 more attack, 194 more defense, 1,148 more wisdom, and Babel actually has 454 more agility. They're both Pyro Elite with a 3-1 cooldown. So overall, Nasrin is the better fighter. Babel is the faster fighter, but I mean the amount of wisdom that Nasrin has over Babel is just gonna make that Pyro hit hard. Because you can see Pyro is based on wisdom, and Nasrin has 1,148 more wisdom than Babel. So if you were able to participate last event and you were able to acquire Nasrin, this would be the much better choice than Babel. You may want to get rid of that Babel if you have yourself a Nasrin. All right, so on to our next comparison. We're going to compare the champ D.O.T. We're going to compare him to a fighter. One second as I navigate to the fighter that I decided to compare him to. Here we are. All right. So I decided to compare D.O.T to Ingestinana, who was from the Power Grab Dungeon event, the event where I actually started playing Defender of Texel. And this is the closest comparison I found to D.O.T. So stats wise, D.O.T has 74 more health, 1,346 more attack, 804 more defense, 261 more wisdom, and Ingestinana has 546 more agility. They're both Shock Elite skills with a 4-2 cooldown. So D.O.T is actually the king of his weight class. And what I mean by that is he's not the greatest of champs overall, but in his weight class, as far as being a champ with Shock, he's at the top of his weight class. Every other champ that has Shock Elite is inferior to him statistically. I do believe they all have the same cooldown, but the stats are just not there. So if you have an Ingestinana, you may want to swap him out for D.O.T because he is definitely the much better choice statistically. Alright, next comparison, we're going to compare a fighter to Kikabal. And I'm sure you don't have to really guess too much as the fighter I'm going to decide to compare him to. None other than the Stingall man himself. So I decided to compare him to N10. I thought this was the closest comparison to Kikabal. N10 statistically trumps Kikabal in every category. I mean, 358 more health, 273 more attack, 189 more defense, 265 more wisdom, 667 more agility, and they're both Sting All Adepts with a 3-1 cooldown. So, like I said, if you don't have any Sting All Adepts, Kikabal wouldn't be a bad first choice. But for fighters or defenders that have been playing for quite a while now, I'm pretty sure you already got your hands on the N10. He's the better fighter, just completely trumps Kikabal in every category. So if you got Kikabal, you may want to look into upgrading him to a much better fighter, that being N10, as he is the best Sting All fighter at this time. Okay, the next comparison would be Marglint, but I don't really have a good comparison, a good solid comparison for Marglint, for the simple fact that Marglint is in a class of her own. She is one of the 3 fighters that has Thwart All. So you have a rare one whose name is Celestia, who has the Thwart All skill, but she's a rare, so of course Marglint just stumps all over her. But and the only other fighter besides these 2 that has Thwart All would be Lophidiana, who is a legendary. So of course, legendary is going to statistically stomp all over Marglint because Marglint's only an epic. So Mark Glenn is kind of in a class of their own right now because there are no other epic fighters that have Ward all. So if you have a Mark Glenn, my personal opinion, she's not the greatest fighter. That 4-2 cooldown hurts her pretty bad um, because I don't think she'll even live long enough in order to get the skill off. So if you want to keep Mark Glint, it's completely up to you. Me personally, I am going to get rid of it. Another one, Electria, my favorite from this event. I also don't have a good solid comparison for him either, for the simple fact that the only other fighter on the entire game that has that skill besides him is a rare water champ known as Hera. And as I stated, Hera only evolved to rare, so statistically, of course, he's gonna just be so far inferior to him. It's not even worth comparing them. So, Electria, yeah, he's in a class of his own as well, but I don't really have a good solid comparison for him. But Gratia, on the other hand, you all knew it was coming. Gratia, we compare to Inzuna. Now, Gratia statistically stumps Inzuna in every category. 118 more health, 176 more attack, 63 more defense, 35 more wisdom, 184 more agility. Both are preempt all adepts, but the thing that just makes Gratia sink into the ground is that Gratia at 5 for 5 has a 1 cooldown, while Inzuna is an auto proc. 0 cooldown. So we thought Gratia was going to kill Inzuna, but that is just not the case, simply because the cooldown is just not there with Gratia. Inzuna is coming with the preempt all every turn, so Inzuna still remains the preempt all king. There is no better preempt all fighter than Inzuna. So you may want to keep Gratia anyway, because Inzuna costs like, man, mad bidders. I think it's like 1,000 for a 5 for 5. So if you got that many bidders, then by all means you want to have Inzuna, because Inzuna is the best preempt all. But if you just got to roll with what you got, Gratia wouldn't be a bad keep. Me personally, I'm going to get rid of Gratia because a preempt all that's not auto proc is not going to do me any good personally. But Inzuna remains on top. Boy, what a letdown Gratia was. So there you have it. Our prize highlights for the Turkey Shoot Special Dungeon event. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, favorite, subscribe, share, comment, and everything else. And I will be coming at you guys with more videos soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more coming. Straight to the out.